What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another stimulus update. So earlier on today, I did a whole video on talking about unemployment benefits. You know, the length of the extension, different unemployment benefits, getting insurance, health insurance through unemployment, which is now 100% free because the government's going to pay for it. If you didn't get a chance to watch that video, I'll link to it down in the description box below. I highly recommend you go and watch it. Now, in this video, I want to address rental assistance, mortgage assistance, and utility assistance because I've been getting a lot of questions from people about how do I pay for my rent? How do I get rental assistance? When's it coming out? Am I going to qualify for it? Well, I want to address all those questions right now. So, a lot of people are struggling to pay their rent. They're struggling to afford their mortgage and even utility payments. So, that's what I want to address. Here's what we know. The United States, as of right now, or rough estimate, is currently behind by roughly $80 billion in rent. Okay, that's since this pandemic has started. Well, many landlords haven't been paid in a full year. Yesterday was the 1 year since the CDC said this was a global pandemic and shut everything down. Many people right now are still getting eviction notices. They're still getting notices to evict the property or to vacate the property. However, these are not really going through because the sheriff's department can't go and do evictions because we do have a federal eviction moratorium that is currently in place. And many states have these as well. So, Congress has decided to step in, and they're going to provide a staggering $45 billion out of the roughly $80 billion we are behind for rental assistance. That is the good news. Here's what you know. Here's what you need to know. The first $25 billion was actually sent out starting in January. This was money that hasn't even really been spent. Based on the last report that I read, less than 10%, so about $2.5 billion has been issued. The other 90% of the first $25 billion has not even been issued yet. So if you think you're too late, you can't get rental assistance, the money's going to be gone. I just want to reiterate, it is not gone. However, it can be fairly difficult to get accepted when you do file your application. And then just recently, President Biden signed this bill into law yesterday. So based off of that, we know there's an additional $20 billion that will be going to states very soon to hopefully help with the rental assistance crisis. And this we should potentially be sent to the states possibly this month in March. Hopefully they're not slow like they were in the last round. What we do know is that many states are extremely slow because they don't have a lot of people going through these applications. Well, that's part of the pandemic. It's part of the reason why we need more people to go back to work so that we can finally start to operate, somewhat efficiently. Well, we will see what happens, but as of right now, many people are still behind on rent and utilities, and until this money is sent out, people are still going to go further and further behind. What I can tell you is that if you are a renter that has applied and you have not heard from a specific rental assistance program, here's what I suggest. This is exactly what I've done with multiple people here on the channel as well, is I've helped them get some type of rental assistance, utility assistance, and even mortgage assistance just by going through just some different emails. So here's what you need to do. If you applied for a certain program, let's say it's through your city, and your city's just not responding to you, they're just not getting back to you, whatever. I understand. Sometimes the city is very busy. They get a lot of applications depending on where you live, and maybe you just can't qualify based on the city's rules and their current requirements. Fine. But the city is not your last option. That's not your last resort. If the city will not provide any rental assistance or utility assistance, okay, you understand that? Well, go and file an application with your county. And some people think, oh, well, if the city's not going to accept me, the county won't. Well, sometimes the county operates has a different program. Maybe they have more money for the county than the city, or vice versa. And if it doesn't work there, there's possibly a mortgage or a rental assistance program for your state as well. So you can always see about applying there also. One thing I will just state is that in some cases, especially in the past, I don't know how things are really going to work in the future yet. Can't read minds, all right? I'm not one of those psychics, but what I can tell you is that in the past, I have helped people get rental assistance through their county. Okay, they get a little bit, a couple months, right? And then they are still needing help a few months later. So what do? Well, instead of going back to the county who doesn't have any more money, they decide, well, I'm just gonna go through the city. And they get more rental assistance, and they maybe get a few months there. And so it's really helped to go use different programs. Now, I'm not saying you have to, but if the program does ask, did you receive any rental assistance from another program? Be honest and say yes. Yes, I have. Because they will most likely find out. Okay? So just be 100% honest. That's all they're really asking, is just be honest. If you did, if not, no big deal. And again, if you get rental assistance from one program, it doesn't mean you don't qualify for the next one. It just means maybe they will take your application and move it to the back of the pile because they have other people that are in higher priority that need something. They haven't received anything yet, so maybe they'll put them in front of you. And then if all these people don't qualify, like no. Oh yes, you qualify. All right, we'll give you more assistance. Just want to put that out there. So try doing this and just see if it works. It's really all you can do. Now, one thing I just want to say is that if in some cases you may qualify for utility assistance, but you don't qualify for rental assistance. And again, it's weird. It's just weird the way it works. Sometimes you qualify for rental assistance, but there's no additional funding for utility assistance. Okay, that's just the way it works. There's not much we can do about that right now unless Congress comes out and passes just this huge bill that gives $100 billion to everybody that is behind on any of these payments. There's really nothing we can do. We kind of got to play with the rules that we're given. So one thing I just want to say, and I've helped many people get assistance over the past year, and in this time, I've figured out kind of the key to getting some type of rental assistance quickly. In most cases, what's happening is you apply for rental assistance, but the problem is you do not have all your forms, everything that they require. Okay, you don't have, let's say, a W-2 from your employer. And you're probably thinking, well, why would I need a W-2 or I haven't worked in months? Well, provide unemployment income. Provide a statement from your unemployment. Just go to the unemployment website and print one out. Okay, keep it. You don't really need to print it because you want everything online so that you can file online. But you also want things like eviction notices. You want your lease on file. You want things like late utility payments, right? I'd say make sure you have your actual ID front and back. Have all this stuff ready so you can go and just put it in. You upload it, send it off like, okay, there's all my information. Or there's my tax return from 2019 to show I'm not a millionaire. I don't have, $100,000 in the stock market, right? And so you don't have all these assets. Okay, great. I need some help, right? This is what's going to speed it along. And this is exactly what I was able to do with multiple people here in this community as well, is get them additional assistance. So I recommend have everything, okay, all the paperwork, everything in a digital form. Don't have a paper copy because that's going to do you absolutely no good. Have it all in digital form. Have it on your computer, on your laptop, so as soon as it's ready, as soon as you're ready to apply, you just upload it, send it off. Pretty simple. Now, this $1.9 trillion stimulus package allows you to get up to 12 months of prior month's rent that you haven't paid and up to 3 months in the future. So there's a decent span right there. So right now, and it also includes utility payments as well. So right now, if you are behind any, or you're even cutting it very close, maybe you're not behind, but you're struggling to pay for food, you're struggling to pay for your car payment, put in gas, your insurance, maybe your cell phone, right? Some luxuries in there. Cell phone technically is a luxury. If you're struggling at all, if you think you might qualify, go and apply. Just go and apply, because they're going to tell you, no, you don't qualify. Or yes, you do qualify, but you're kind of you're in our queue. We're going to get to you in the next, couple weeks, right? Okay, great. At least now you know. But here's the thing. Some people can, pay for all their rent, can pay for everything else, but they're struggling. They're on unemployment benefits, or maybe their hours were cut at work, whatever, right? And they're struggling. If that's you, go and apply. It doesn't hurt to just go and apply. Maybe they say, no, you don't qualify, and that's okay. I don't qualify. I'm not going to apply again. Or you go and apply for a different program that has a different set of requirements. right? You have to figure it out, because right now what I can tell you and what we're seeing is right now states are going to have too much money on their hands because not enough people are going to qualify based on their very strict guidelines. So I just want to be 100% clear. Go and apply. You may qualify, you may not. You may be eligible, but you never know until you actually try. Also, as to who must file for this, this is another question I've been getting quite a bit. It can either be you as a tenant or the landlord can file on your behalf. What you do need to understand, or if you are a landlord, okay? If you are a landlord and you are going to file on behalf of the tenant, you must get a signed notification from them, from your tenant, that yes, you are applying. The reason for this is because the government does not want landlords getting the rental assistance without the tenant knowing, and then the tenant still paying some money and getting scammed out of money when the government pretty much just footed the bill. So that's kind of what we're hearing. That's the purpose behind that. One thing that I can tell you though is when it comes to the rental assistance funding, is that it will go quickly. It's not going to stay around forever. If it does, most likely the states, the counties, the cities are going to kind of loosen up the restrictions a little bit and start to accept the people that are already in the queue, already have applications for. So again, you may not qualify now, but it doesn't mean you won't qualify in the future. And I've seen this happen multiple times, just in Harris County down in Houston, okay, in Texas. I saw multiple people that I talked to, okay, and I helped them go and apply. And I told them, you may not qualify, that's fine, but go and apply. What happened? Harris County opened things up and more people started to get some assistance. What happened then? Hey, they got assistance, cool, everything's good. But again, if you don't apply, you're never going to get it. Now, here's what we need to address, okay? Let's address mortgage forbearance. And this is something that you may not have any interest in. And again, if you don't, completely understand, you can just skip this part. But right now, homeowners that have a federally backed loan can get mortgage forbearance of at least 18 months. Okay. Now, how do you get 18 months? First off, there's an initial period. It's only 6 months long. After the 6 months, you have to go and request an additional 6 months. Then after that, President Biden has now extended this an additional 6 months. You may have been in mortgage forbearance for the past 12 months, maybe 10 months. That's fine. You can still get this additional 6 months. Again, we're still in this pandemic. Some people say we may still be in it for another year. Hopefully not. I really don't want to be in this pandemic for another year, but if we are, at least there is some mortgage forbearance, that you can get. So, if you've had a difficult time paying your mortgage, call your mortgage company. They are the ones that are going to give you this. Call your mortgage company and see what your forbearance options are. Most likely what they're going to do is they're going to say, well, you only have we'll give you 1 month. Well, by law, you have 6 months, okay, initially. So let them know, well, under the CARES Act, they give you 6 months. President Biden has also extended that up to 18. So if you're new to this, right, go in and explain it to them because they know, they've been through this. It doesn't matter which mortgage company you are with, there's somebody there that has dealt with mortgage forbearance. I can guarantee it. At this point a year later, yes, they have done it, probably at least once. So in most cases, that's what they're going to do. What you need to go and do and tell them is it's your legal right to get mortgage forbearance and you want to take it. Some are going to say, okay, well, you can accept mortgage forbearance. We will suspend your payments for the next 6 months. After that, you need to take all the money, all the payments that you missed, and you need to make a lump sum payment. Well, that's not technically the way it works. Some are going to try to push this on you, but by law, you can actually take this and push it and tack it on to the end of your loan. So let's say you owe another 25 years of your payments. All right, great. Tack it on for 25 years and 6 months. I'll pay it then, right? And you can do that. Now, I don't recommend anybody that has not been impacted by COVID or by this pandemic to go and get mortgage forbearance. But if you've had a difficult time paying anything, I highly recommend it. Right now, this is going to help out a lot of people. It's pretty much like getting an additional stimulus check every single month. Because let's say you have a $1,500 mortgage payment. Great. That means you get $1,500 to put back in your pocket every single month. You don't have to make a mortgage payment. So that's the good news. Now, if you have questions on any of this stuff, you can ask your questions down in the comment section below. one person that I highly recommend who did a video on this. It was quite a while ago. It wasn't a whole year ago, but it's probably been at least 6 months, maybe 8 months. But a person named Meet Kevin, he has an incredible video on this. Just go to the top of YouTube, type in Meet Kevin and mortgage forbearance, and he has an incredible video that teaches you exactly, and I don't want to go and create a new video on this because he did such a great job, but go and watch that video. I highly recommend it. It's going to teach you everything you need to know, give you the tricks, tips, strategies to go and get your mortgage forbearance. So if you need it, I highly recommend you go and do it. But that's all I got for you guys right now. If you have any additional questions, please ask them down in the comment section below. Consider subscribing so I can continue to keep you updated on everything that's going on, and I'll see you guys on the next one.